Through the looking glass to the other side of the mirror. Anything of Alice in Stevie Nicks?
Much of Alice in Stevie Nicks. Alice is Stevie writing about Alice in parallel back to Stevie. So I'm really writing about Alice's adventures as in comparison to my adventures. And for Alice to run back and forth between the looking glass is what I kind of perceive my whole life to be, is running back and forth between two places, which is obviously my career with Fleetwood Mac and obviously my career by myself. And then, of course, there's the other part of my life, which is my own life, which there isn't very much of. But I always seem to be running to one place or the other. Alice is my favorite.
Comes your real life and the life that you know. It seems like it was the creation of some of those same old things. It seemed to be the only thing left out in the light. She had trusted many, but been unfamiliar.
What happens in this story is, in the story of Rooms of Fire, is that yes, in fact, one day at one of the everlasting, long-lasting, horrifying parties that she has to go to, somebody walks in the room that catches her eye and catches it solidly. And she just knows from across the room that this is her man. This is the one that she wants. And the next thing she knows, she just kind of turns away. And the next thing she knows, she looks up and he's standing in front of her. And he asks her to dance. And she knows from the second that he touches her fingertips that this is it. And at that point, her life does change, which is something that she never, ever expected. Because she had already many years before, accepted the fact that she would probably live, high atop some mountain in a really pretty little house with her friends and her dogs and her cats and probably a couple of horses and a piano and a little mini recording studio, and that she had accepted that life. And all of a sudden, this man walks into her life, and she's really ready to give up many, many of the parts of her life that she thought she would never give up for anyone. In fact, how dare you even ask me to give up any of my life?
If I do say so myself.
If I do say so myself.
She had trusted many, and then there would be someone who would enter into a presence that she could sense for miles. She dreamed of a wanton luxury, and she laughed and she cried and she tried to taunt him. And he hated
To you, what makes this album more special than the other ones, the other solo albums you've done?
Probably the thing that makes it more special is that when I actually hired my producer to do this record, the thing that I told him that was most important to me was that my songs came through. I have archives of demos, and I have many, many friends who prefer the demos, and who all have them, and who listen to them. And that's kind of really hard to take when it costs you nothing to do a demo, and it costs you, $500,000 or $1 million to do a record, and people come to you and say, can I have a cassette of the song when it was just a demo? And it's kind of like you want to turn around and bang your head against the wall, because you can't believe that what you have done, what you have recorded in this big studio with all these fabulous players and all these incredibly brilliant people, that your real friends, which are not different than the real people out there that are buying your records, are saying, could I have a tape of Gypsy before it was put on record? It's very important to me that what I'm saying comes through, because more than musical, I'm not a musician. More than musically, it's very important that what I have to say comes through. And so in this record, he did what I asked. He let me put my demo feeling through. In other words, if I were to sit down and play the piano not very well and sing you one of my songs not that well, but you might start to cry. It might make you. It might really hit you, because you would really understand what I was trying to say as soon as they put harps and violins and incredible guitar and everything else on it. You lose that.
So for demo, read emotion.
Right. Exactly. When I started this album, I said I want to be able to do these songs and reproduce them on stage. And I want people to go home not wishing that they could have heard them at the first writing, or at the first time that the idea came through me. And really understand what I was trying to say to them at a certain moment in time.
So are you saying that if you could go back now, you would change Rhiannon, or you would change Dreams, or any of those other songs that you've had on Fleetwood Mac albums?
Some, not Dreams. Dreams was like a reference vocal and just a very simple Fender Rhodes piano from Christine. So that was an accidental, very real song. Gypsy was very real. There are a few songs on the Fleetwood Mac records that actually did accidentally come out very real. If I were to go away and Lindsay got a hold of my songs, then he would add so much to them that by the time I got back, it was hardly recognizable to me, and I would be very upset, and he would say, well, that's really too bad. You were gone. I don't think if you lead a very normal life, a very suburbanite life, that you could write songs. Because what would you write about? Tragedy, unfortunately, for all people in rock and roll, brings you probably up to your highest level of creativity.
Ordinary people get upset as well.
Yes, and I'm sure that they probably scribble on pads.
And you scribble in books. You've filled books with your life, haven't you?
Books. Probably about 25,000 typewritten pages.
Every detail of your life.
Yes. I decided a long time ago that when the long nets of white clouded my brain, I would want to be able to go back and reread my life. And I didn't really start it for anyone else. I started it for myself. And then my songs come directly out of that prose writing, out of that journalistic writing. That's why none of my songs are made up. Because I never felt that it was fair to make up a song. I wouldn't be a good fiction writer. None of my songs are fiction, even though, of course, I bring, I add and subtract little things, but none of my songs start out in a fictitious way. They're all based on something that really happened to me or to somebody very close to me. They're never just, I never just go to the piano and make up a song. I never just go to the typewriter and make up a poem. I mean, I only go to the typewriter when I'm really either upset or very reflective or in that sort of a mood where I really want to tell the truth what's happening in my life. And then I write it down, and then I go back to it later, and I put it in rhyme, and then I go to the piano with it. To really tell my story would be indeed difficult because of all the different people involved. Not that there is anything bad written, it's just all terribly personal, or maybe I'm just terribly possessive. My life has been, if I go not a day longer, quite extraordinary. The happy things have been written with great joy, the tragic things with great care, and the secrets have not been written at all, so that no one would ever be hurt by anything I would ever say. That is not the purpose of my writing. My purpose is to document this incredible adventure before the years have become too clouded to really remember what a truly incredible experience my life has been. Right now I live at the top of Old Queens Road in Franklin, and yes, I do have a movie star view. Some say I have everything. I wonder sometimes if anyone ever really knows what everything is. Have you got any heart at all? Yes, and it's going to stay right where it is. A musical western, and we all play the parts. But when the play is over, what do? Become overnight casual friends? You can lose your dreams or keep them. And the unridden horses ride away, and the sons of the prophets are deeply, deeply hurt, and your chances of returning to your past are gone. Your heroes are dying, the old ones, the great ones. The ones that you looked up to aren't looking so good anymore. And the ones that are growing up are crazier than we were. But a war can always be won. Well, if there is the sense in trying. Not much is really a secret anymore. We all grow up and the veils come down. But the children go on.
Another girl on the road. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know that this is Elaine, and Elaine has just experienced what I do every night. What do you think?
Elaine.
Elaine, yes, I know. I have to give her back, right?
When do you write your best songs? Are you happy or sad?
When I'm miserable.
That's what everyone says.
In fact, I don't really ever write a happy song.
My darling lives in a world that is not mine. An old child misunderstood, out of time. The prisoner in disguise. Who is the beauty? Who the beast? Would you die of grieving when I leave? Two children, two lives to see. I was born in your shadow, I believe.
I would rather keep on a completely friendly basis with my own band and And so I make sure that there are people surrounding me that do those things for me so that I'm not put to the test to yell and scream at people, because I don't want to. I'm too old to fight. And not that I won't fight, and not that I can't fight, and not that I can't win, but I just would rather not do it. So I don't. So I make sure, even in my solo career, that I have a musical director or somebody that is going to take that responsibility off my hands. Not that I don't watch very carefully everything that they do, because I do. But at least I don't have to take the full responsibility. If I was going to do that, I would just go out with a piano player and me and a drum machine and probably have a great time and probably be a much happier person because I wouldn't have to worry about 40 people. But as it is, you know, all my careers seem to involve seemingly hundreds of people. And I think of myself sometimes as Mother Goose because it seems like I live in a shoe and there's about 300 other people who live there with me. And my life's always been that way.
That would depend on you. It's a big responsibility. Or does that?
It's a very big responsibility.
Does that cross your mind?
It crosses my mind every day. If I were to leave Fleetwood Mac, all those people, the 40 people entourage, the 6 members of the band, it would kill them. If I were to stop doing what I do in my solo career, there's another 40 people involved and some dear, dear friends that it would hurt a lot. So I would really, you know, I'd really have to have a serious reason to completely turn away from them all. I've made many mistakes along the way, but I was, you see, because I did watch them from a close view through the looking glass. I saw them and how they went down. And so there was a part of me that said, I want to go down with them also. And another part of me that said, isn't it too bad that Jimi Hendrix isn't still here? What would he be doing now? Isn't it really very sad that Janis Joplin is not still here? You know, I could start naming you other people that I'm very, very sad that are gone, and that I still wish that were here. I wish that Oscar Wilde had lived another 20 years so that he could have written another complete works of Oscar Wilde. He was a notorious drug addict. I don't regret his drug addiction. I regret the fact that he couldn't have managed to hang in there for another 20 years so that I would have another book of his. And that, I think, is what stuck in my head, was that that's the sad part, is that there would be no more work from Oscar Wilde, that there would be no more work from Jimi Hendrix, that there would be no more work from Janis Joplin. And that's what really turned me around to say, well, maybe we better be in a little bit more control here, because I think that I would be very sad if some, 25-year-old lady rock and roll singer in 10 years said, I wish Stevie Nicks had just thought about it a little more careful and been around to maybe do another, complete works of Stevie stopped me and made me really look at the world through clear eyes and say, I don't want to be one of the ones that slip away and that people are sad about because they're no longer with us. So I made a change.
Is this song on this new one called Doing the Best I Can? I mean, is that something you live by?
Well, that's really the story of my life. That's the story, especially of the last 3 years of my life. And I think I wrote that song really because sometimes I get tired of people telling me their opinions of what I do. Because I want to say to them, you have no idea what I live with. You have no idea what my life is like. You have no idea the responsibility that I feel to people or the guilt that I carry around with me or how much I want to please everybody and how hard I try to please everybody and make everybody happy. It's very difficult. I mean, it's aging. And doing the best I can sort of says, get off my back, basically. I'm doing the best that I can. And I have been doing the best I can for as long as I can remember. So either give me a break or leave me alone. And it's a very serious song. I mean, it's sad. I mean, in my distress, I wanted someone to blame me. In my own way, disaster was the only thing I could depend on. I mean, that's pretty down in the very depths of despair, which is where I pretty much was when I wrote the song, which meant I cannot take all of this advice and go on living with all of you. You've got to let me grow up and leave me to my own decisions. I'm a grown-up. I'm not a child.
Baby